Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. So I thought for today's video what I would do is I would do what's in my office bag. Now this is one of my most asked questions on Instagram, and so I thought it would be a great video to do for YouTube where I can be a little bit more chatty. I can talk you through things in a bit more detail than I can on Instagram and TikTok. So let's get straight into it. So I've got two different work bags that I like to kind of alternate. First one is the Patagonia rucksack. I will put the name of this exact bag on the screen because I can't actually currently remember this. I got this in Berlin, and this is actually one of their remakes for, I want to say, their 100th anniversary. I don't know, but this was one of their original bags that then they bought out again for their anniversary. So it's like a canvas, it's like waxy material. And I just think it's great. It fits loads in it, and it's got lots of different pockets. So, and also you can hold it like this, and then also it's got the straps on the back. You can also do weird like crossing things with these if you want to. I don't, so I don't. But yes, then you've got the two side pockets on here, which is good for, I've always got an umbrella in there. It's good if you've got a water bottle that size. And then inside, you've got loads of different space. You've also got a pocket in here, and then you've also got a pocket on the front. So this is option number one, and this is actually probably my most used just because it fits most in and is the most convenient. The second option, which I have and which I do absolutely love, is the Ganni tote bag. I got this in Stockholm last summer and I managed to get a bit of a tax rebate on it, so it was basically free. It absolutely wasn't. And I got this in the leopard print design. I would probably use this a lot more often if I didn't often have leopard print on. I don't personally like to do a double leopard print moment, so I often end up using the rucksack instead of this. But this is great. It's got the, because it's got the side paneling, you can fit loads in there, and then the same, I think, because of the gusset at the bottom, you can fit loads in. So yes, this is one of the options, and then the Patagonia is the other option. This is secret option number 3, which I actually use as my gym bag. I picked this up at TK Maxx probably now about 2 years ago. Absolutely love it. I think I paid 15 quid for it, so it was an absolute bargain at the time. It says it's Willow, the label, never heard of it. But yes, it fits loads in, and again, why I like this one is it's got the chunky zip, and then it's got two different compartments. So I tend to use this for my gym bag. This currently actually is just housing my gym kit. So in here I've got trainers, I've got a little fleece, I've got a sports top, a sports bra, sports socks, and then also I always have a little bag for life in here as well in case I want to put my kit in a different bag, that sort of thing. So pretty much every single morning before I go into the office, I like to go swimming or I like to go to the gym. So what I always do is I always pack my bag the night before. Now I think this is literally the most key thing for you to do if you want to have a productive morning routine. So I will pack my bag with everything I need, and then I will also lay out my clothes next to the bag, so there's literally like no decisions that need to be made in the morning. So it's 1 p.m. currently, so obviously I haven't packed my stuff, but I will show you this evening what that all looks like. So, but what I can show you is the kind of different like pouches, bags I have that are always kind of just like packed, ready to go. And then this evening I'll show you what everything actually looks like. So first up we have my makeup bag. Now I'm lucky that the gym I go to also has shampoo, conditioner, shower gel and towels provided there, but that just makes my routine so much easier, and it also means that I'm not like dragging a load of stuff around with me all the time. So in here I've got deodorant, I've got a Tangle Teaser hairbrush, Charlotte Tilbury palette, got an SPF, I've got a highlighter, a brush, and then last few bits, I've got the Armani blush, which I love. I've got the Milk mascara, I've got Sunny's Face little brow, I've got a Sunny's Face eyeliner, which actually the eyeliner and this Charlotte Tilbury pot I don't tend to wear during the week. These are just in here. But yes, so I don't tend to wear loads of makeup anyway, so that's kind of like not an issue for me. But I do think that I do have like a bit of a refined range to take during the week, just because I'm conscious that obviously I'm having to carry it. So I make sure that everything lives in one pouch for that. So at the moment I'm using this Sunny's Face puffy pouch, which was a gift with purchase when I went to the Philippines earlier this year, and I'm actually really liking that as a pouch because it fits loads in, it's got the zip, and then also it just looks kind of cute. So this is where all of my makeup is currently stored. I also then have this pouch here, which as you can see is completely broken, but I just haven't bought myself a new one. But this is my swimming bag pouch. So in here is obviously a swimming costume. This one is from M&S. I can just show you the design. So it's like that, and then it has the slightly lower scooped back. I really like that one, and I think it's a very flattering shape. And then I've also got my Speedo goggles. I recently replaced these, and I didn't realise how much I needed to replace my goggles until I actually replaced them, and realised that I was literally like looking through the most scratched glass ever. That's a really great, maybe that will be my thumbnail. So yeah, so then I store all of this in a dry bag. So the goggles basically just constantly live in there. And obviously because of the really helpful gap, you've actually got 2 entryways. So little life hack for you there. So what I actually do is if I'm going swimming in the morning is I will put my swimming costume on first when I'm at home, and then I put my clothes on top of it. And then you need to just make sure you then pack your bra and pants in your bag. I've only had one occasion, and I've been doing this routine for about 3 years, where I forgot my pants, so it can be done. You just need to remember to pack your pants. So then this lives in the bag, and then I make sure that I put my clothes out the night before, so I'll show you that later. And then I also pack my breakfast, which I will show you guys what goes in that bag. And then I'm actually going out for lunch tomorrow with work, so I don't need to pack lunch, so it'll be kind of quite a nice little chilled Sunday evening. But I will make sure to show you what goes in my bag, and if you have any comments or questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I'm sure I'll see you guys, and I'll see you guys all next week for next week's YouTube. So hope you all have a great week. Bye. I feel like I really need one of those SpongeBob things where it's like 2 weeks later. I have been so bad at my YouTube channel. I have neglected you guys, and I am sorry. I feel like I'm one of those OG YouTubers coming back after like mild cancelling. That has not happened here. I've just been super busy. So in the previous clip that was filmed 2 weeks ago, I was talking through my bag, talking through my different kind of work options for my bag, what goes in the bag. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you what I pack for brekkie and lunch, and then also kind of any hints and tips I have for doing that the night before, just to make sure that you're super organized for the next day for your morning routine. And then also I'm gonna show you what's going in my bag the night before, and then also laying out my clothes, because genuinely I think that is the biggest thing you can do for improving your morning routines. So let's start with the packing my lunch, and then also I'm gonna do prep some breakfast jars for the week ahead. So let's get into it. So I've just prepped this dense bean salad, which I saw a recipe for it on Instagram, and I saved it, and I just thought, do you know what, I have got to make this. So I've actually also seen on TikTok quite a few different varieties. There seems to be one woman who just like makes dense bean salads each week, and then she just talks about how obsessed she is with them. And genuinely, I think this is going to change my life. But we shall see. I will report back. However, basically the idea of a dense bean salad is that it gets better as you leave it in the fridge over the course of the week. So I'm really hoping that this will actually be a game changer for meal prep. So this is a tin of chickpeas, a tin of cannellini beans, then a cucumber. We've got a large handful of sun-dried tomatoes, a handful of roasted red peppers. We've got some olives in there. We've got the pickled chilies. I'll actually also just show you the jars afterwards so that you guys can kind of better visualize it. Yeah, then pickled chilies, then we've got basil, and then I think that might be everything. And then the dressing is olive oil, balsamic vinegar, apple cider vinegar, whole grain mustard, a bit of lemon juice, and then salt and pepper. So I'll take you into the fridge, not actually into the fridge, but I'll show you the jars so you can just kind of get a little bit of inspo. But yes, this should then be 3 portions worth. And then I've got some rice crackers as well to have with it, which I will also show you. So I'm absolutely obsessed with the sweet chili, or just like chili version of these. So then when I saw that they did like a lightly salted, I was like, a row of these will be delicious for a little scooping action on the salad. Along with the, obviously the chickpeas and then also the cannellini beans, this is what went in. So we've got pickled chili peppers, Kalamata pitted olives. Now I was kind of a bit unsure about these, and these have been sat in my cupboard for a while because I was just a bit like, jar olives, sometimes they're not like that nice. But these are so delicious, and they have no pits in them, so we'll definitely be buying these again. We've got these Kayatis roasted red peppers. Now I've seen this brand pop up everywhere, and I was like, how is it so much cheaper? But then on the back of the jar I read that it's this brand, so I think maybe this is meant to be like their Young Fun brand. I don't know, but anyway, I think this is the same brand as the other, or at the very least it's owned by. That is some amazing detective work. We have got some sun-dried tomatoes. So yeah, then basically did a handful of all of these, chopped them up, add them in with the chickpeas and the cannellini beans. Oh, and a packet of salami. Missed that off. But yes, salami is also in there. And then, yeah, the dressing is like I said before. But I'll put the details in the caption / on screen as well. I don't want my fridge to be totally awash with Tupperware. So what I tend to do is I tend to do kind of like a bit of a scooping method. So whatever's for lunch the next day, I will pack into one. And then I will also have then the bigger Tupperware, which just then sits in the fridge. And then I just decant from there. So I tend to just literally, I mean, I could definitely be using a bigger spoon for this, but I would tend to literally just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm trying to get 3 portions out of this, then I would do 8 in here. So now we have 2 nice containers full of beans. So yeah, this one will then just sit in the fridge until, well, obviously both of them will sit in the fridge overnight, but this one will sit in the fridge and be decanted on Tuesday night and also Wednesday night. And then this one is then just ready to go tomorrow for me to have for lunch on Tuesday. What you want to be doing is you want to be packing your lunch bag with basically anything that doesn't need to go in the fridge. And then I saw this right next to the fridge. So in this instance, I know that this is going to be in the fridge, so that I'll take out in the morning. But I know that I want to have these with it tomorrow. So then I've got a little mini Tupperware, which I'll decant some of these into. And then I actually don't think I'm going to take any snacks in with me tomorrow. So if I want something, I can buy it in the office. When I did my online food shop on the weekend, they didn't have the snacks I wanted, so didn't get any of that. So just going to pack this, and then that's just another one less thing that I need to do tomorrow morning, which is just the best way to be. So yeah, then basically just chuck that in there and then leave that by the fridge so you're ready to grab that in the morning. Breakfast of choice then for, I want to say the week, but actually I don't have enough chia seeds to meal prep for the week. So I'm actually just going to do 1 jar for now. But especially if I decide to do chia pudding, like it is so easy. So basically all you want to do for chia pudding is 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. So 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, or yeah, today that's worked out about 19 grams. And then you want to do 130 ml of milk, and I'm just using whole milk. So yeah, 127. I'm just going to go in with a handful of blueberries. And literally, you just want to put the lid on and give it a good shake. Now, if you had honey or maple syrup, like that's quite nice to add to it. However, what I do in the morning is when I get to the office, I add a dollop of PB. So that works for me. But yes, that will then just sit in the fridge overnight and be ready to go tomorrow morning. But then personally, what I like to do is I like to leave everything that I'm going to be taking in the morning all together in one little section of the fridge. And then say this Tupperware, I'll put on the top shelf just out of the way. And you can also just see that my lunch bag is there as well, ready to go in the morning. So yeah, literally all I then need to do is transport these 3 things into there, put that in my bag, and then I'm ready to go. The most unaesthetic camera shot ever, but because I'm here and I'm packing it away, I thought I'd just show you what else I had for dinner as well, because I'm such a fan of sort of like cook once, eat twice. And I cook for 1, so this is what just works for me. So yeah, it's a Monday evening and I've made Emily Mariko salmon. So I do 2 salmon fillets at once, then half an avocado on each night. So yeah, then this means tomorrow when I get back from work, all I've got to do is cook the rice and then chop up the cucumber and the avo and kind of mix. And if then I've had a super busy Tuesday or anything like that, then it means I can just come home and I can kind of just have something without even needing to think about it. So it is now time to pack my bag for tomorrow morning. So I'm just going to quickly run you through what's going in. So first of all, my Kindle, I'm currently reading The Maid Secret. Then I've got my AirPod Pros. So these then go in the front of my bag. Then things that are like permanently in the front of my bag, my office keys, and then one of these little tokens if I ever go to the Lido. And then I've also got in here a pack of tampons and a pack of blister plasters. Then what is going to go in is my swimming pouch. So I am going to go swimming tomorrow morning. Just going to have my goggles in there because everything is on the floor. Then my makeup bag, obviously I've spoken through what is in there. That just goes in. Finally, the things you don't want to be forgetting is your underwear. Now, side note, I was sent these under days pants. They are literally the comfiest pants I've ever worn. So if you're in the market for new pants, would highly recommend Underdays. So they're going to go in there, and then that's all packed. So then in the morning, all that needs to happen is I put my lunch bag in there, and then everything is going to be laid out on the floor. So I'll quickly show you that. Then in the morning, we'll show you the final few steps to then get out the door and get going with that morning routine. Now I thought this video was actually done, but I remembered that I haven't packed this. So this is then my jewellery holder. So all of my jewellery just goes in here as well the night before, and then that just goes in my bag. Now this I got from Cos a few years ago, and it's actually the perfect size, so everything just fits in there. It's also got a little studs up here as well, but I tend to only really wear hoops, but it's still nice to have if I'm ever wanting to transport any studs in. This is a really handy thing to have. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, it can't make that much of a difference, but just having a set place for everything, that then you know exactly what you're looking for, especially when you're looking for a pouch as opposed to just kind of fishing around in your bag for some hoops. So yeah, would also really recommend one of these as well. Aesthetic end to the video, but this is everything laid out. So we've got swimsuit, jeans, top, which is like a little rugby shirt, socks and trainers. So then in the morning I don't have to think about anything, and my bag is also on the floor ready to go. So it is now time for me to go to bed, and we'll see you briefly tomorrow morning. So it is 6:30. I've got these ready to pack these in my lunch bag, and then all that needs to happen is then this just needs to go in my rucksack. So this is then the texture of the chia pudding. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry for the brief 2-week hiatus. I will be aiming to do 1 YouTube video a week. So hopefully I will get back on the YouTube bandwagon. So please do like and subscribe, and I will see you all very shortly. Hope you all have a great week.